Hello, everyone. Looks like we're live. You never can tell with these things. Welcome to Yoga Live. Let me just check one thing really quick. There we go. Perfect. Hello, everyone. It's Crystal. I'm back. Today, I would like to revisit Modified Surya Namaskar, and I'm going to add a little bit of more in-depth alignment for plank and introduce Downdog. And just giving you guys little morsels to work with and hopefully be able to take into your home practice. Because I imagine everybody needs a little movement right now. Maybe they're feeling heavy from being indoors a lot right now. So I think with that, let's start right away today, and we'll end with a breath. So reviewing what we went over the last class, Surya Namaskar, we're going to start in Samastitihi. We'll go over a little bit of Samastitihi. Samastitihi or Tadasana, mountain pose. But Samastitihi is more of a state. It's not only a posture. It creates a state. Now I'm going to move a little bit behind the front of my mat because I'm doing Modified Surya Namaskar. And I would like to have my forehead on the mat. So if you're going to do Modified Surya Namaskar, it's instead of coming directly to the front of your mat, step back a little bit. And you can measure to make sure, because we will be working on plank today, if that works. And that looks like it works well for me. So you can measure it. Make sure that your entire body is on the mat. And we'll start in Samastitihi. So in your starting point, toes or heels in one line. Feel the four corners of the feet pressing down into your mat. Big toe mound, little toe mound, inner heel, outer heel. Now if you have one foot bigger than the other, then it's two heels in one line. And you want to position your feet so that the second toe lines up at the middle of your heel, middle of your ankle. And then everybody go ahead and bend your knees just a little bit. Keep the energy of the shin bones moving forward. And then, like you don't want to, take your thighs back to straight. But keep that energetic forward action of your shin bones pressing down through your feet, and your feet kind of move down and forward with that action. Keep that action alive so that you can maintain something for your thighs to push back against to help engage the muscle to build the container for our roots. Remembering the 3 points of the pelvis, and I'll turn to show everyone. Base knuckles of the thumbs on the frontal pelvic bones. Index finger on the pubic bone. Getting that inverted triangle to be upright on one plane. And we're talking about the bones, so your skeletal pelvis upright, not leaning forward about worries or anxieties of the future, not leaning back into the past, but upright in the moment, here now. So find that at the front of your mat, or where your front of the mat is today. Find the 3 points of the pelvis on one plane, and see if against your shin bones moving forward and your thighs moving back, see if you can get the upper inner thighs to firm up and blossom behind you. Side hips firm, like your two frontal pelvic bones want to move toward each other. And you can see, I can feel it, but I'm sure you can see the difference in my posture by just doing those small little actions. So my root is established. It's here. And then I soften my bottom ribs in the direction of my pelvis without letting them jut out. We want to soften them down. And then we'll take that length into our upper chest and see if we can't take the back part of our body, our shoulder blades, into the front part of our body to get a coiling action. Just a little bit. It's not easy. If you feel like you're tensing here, back off effort by about 20%. So the bottom ribs soften, kidney areas stay full, shoulders back, base of the neck down your spine, and your sternum, like a Fibonacci spiral, lifts up and out of your chest toward your chin, keeping the chin parallel with the ground, finding length out the crown of your head. Pick one spot in front of you to gaze at. And you can take your thumbs and place them right above the fleshy area of your buttocks. Let your thumbs under the fleshy parts of your butt help your butt ground toward your heels. Shoulders back, elbows as best as they can back. Relax your face, relax your mouth. Tune into your breath. See how the breath moves from your inner heel up into your inner thigh, pelvis, up your back, into your kidney areas. And once it gets to the top of your thoracic spine, goes across your collarbone, and your sternum lifts, and you find length at the crown of your head. 1 point. So see if you can step through your feet, bring the energy up, breathe into your kidney areas, and take your shoulder heads back. Few breaths like this. And then reach down with your fingertips. Let the downward reaching of your fingertips give you a root to rebound the length of your head to the ceiling. Turning your palms out, palms facing the ceiling, elbows close to the body. Exhale, bring your hands together and rest the base knuckles of your thumb right on your sternum. Breathing into your kidney area, your back body, side bodies expand, elbows close to the body, collarbone broad. Looking at one point in front of you, smooth the breath. Feeling any unnecessary muscular tension, see if you can reduce the effort until you find a place where the breath is smooth. There's a balance of effort, there's a balance of ease. Breathing in and out, long, deep, smooth breaths, in and out through your nose. On your next exhalation, let your hands come to your side. We're going to spend a little bit of time warming up the arms. Go ahead and turn out from your armpits, bringing your fingertips to shoulder height. Reaching out through your fingertips, let the base of your neck go down your back, reaching out through the crown of your head. Stepping through your feet, strong root, long breath. On your next exhalation, turn your palms to the ground, looking straight ahead. Relax your face, relax your breath. And now while reaching out through your fingertips, imagine there's a shelf and you're pressing down against the shelf, but your arms aren't moving. So that's a reaching out and a pressing down. Feel how the arm muscles hug the bone when you do that. Now it's a subtle action. So if you feel unnecessary muscular tension here, release the effort. Just a little bit at a time, until you find a little bit of ease. And then on your next inhalation, flex your hands as best as you can. Remembering not to take the arms too far back. Palms in line with the shoulder heads or a little bit in front. And you can exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Just a reminder that when we're on our keyboards all day, that the muscle that originates from your armpit area, the brachioradialis, it becomes short, and you can feel the shortening of the whole system of your arm when you take this position. Inhale one more time here. Exhale. Inhale. Turn up your palms. Take them about halfway, coordinating the movement with the breath. Stay here. Press through the four corners of the feet, shin bones forward. Side hips firm. Breathing into the upper back. Finding length at the crown of the head. And on your next inhalation, take your arms all the way up until the palms are facing each other here. Resist the urge to put your palms together right now. Keep them shoulder width apart for just a few breaths. Utthita Hastasana in Tadasana. Working on resisting the urge to go too back, but also working in a space where you can challenge yourself. So I tend to go a little forward here. How do you know when it's far enough? When your arms are straight and the base of your neck isn't crunched and your arms don't start to rotate out, then you know that you're at a good height. Breathe. Pick one spot in front of you. Keep the breath smooth. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes. Inhale one more time here, and coordinating the movement with the breath. Exhale. Go ahead and bend at the hips. Bend the knees if you need to, keeping them in line with the second toe. Bring your hands to the ground. If you have the flexibility, you can bring the fingertips in line with the toes, or you can bend your knees and bring your hands a little further in front. Find what works best for you. Today I'll demonstrate it from here. And I want to work on the transition from Uttanasana to standing. So we'll do this, and then we'll move along in our modified sun salutation. So in Uttanasana, pressing through the four corners of your feet, bending your knees as much as you need to here. Maybe your hands are up. Maybe you're on blocks, if you have them. Take some time here. Outer ankles hug in, pressing through the four corners of the feet. As the outer ankles hug in, energetically the inner heels fill that space. Woo. And your thighs begin to burn. Very good. And now, even here, keeping a little bit of a lift to the frontal pelvic bones. Don't dump your sit bones. Keep a lift here. Side hips firm. On exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Stepping through your feet, strong legs, straight spine, lead with your sternum. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Hands overhead. Exhale, hands down. Oh, I'm already bringing in the heat. Let's take it further. One point to look at. Find your Samasthiti, reaching down with your fingertips. Big wide circle. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, pressing through your feet, folding at the hips, bending the knees, fold forward. Inhale, look a little forward. Exhale, bend. Inhale, step both feet back into plank. Exhale, push the ground away. Get your shoulder blades flat on your back. Inhale, knees to the ground. Look a little forward. Keep the height in your abdomen and chest. And slowly begin to bend the elbows. Keep the elbows close to your body. Hold plank for just a second if you want, and then lower your chest all the way down. Inhale forward into a baby cobra. And I still could have gone a little bit further back on my mat. Take a few breaths here. Breathing in and out through your nose. Pressing through the tops of the feet. Outer ankles hug in. Pinky toes press down. Upper inner thighs go to the ceiling, and the butt flesh shifts to meet the resistance of the upper inner thighs moving back, creating a lock, creating a container for the Muladhara chakra. And then lifting your head just a little bit off the ground. Keep your head in line with your spine. Shoulder heads away from the floor, pressing through the index fingers. See if you can get a little coiling action of your chest moving forward. And then on your next exhalation, curl your toes under. Press up through tabletop. Exhale, take your thighs up and back into down dog. 5 breaths. Pressing through the palm of your hands. Arms straight, bottom ribs, chasing your frontal pelvic bones. So the front part of your body moves toward your pelvis, and the back part of your body moves toward your head, and the base of your neck goes down your spine as your chest begins to curl. Few breaths like this. Inhale, look a little forward. Start walking your feet to your hands, coming up onto your fingertips if you need, bending your knees, keeping the knees in line with the second toe. Exhale, fold forward. Let the crown of your head be heavy. Shoulders, heads away from the ground. Pressing through the 4 corners of your feet, side hips firm. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down. Let's go through that one more time. Maybe a little faster. And then we're going to work on plank. Plank down dog. At the wall. So, Samasthiti. Inhale, big wide circle. Hands overhead. If your hands come together and you have opening, look up at your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look a little forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, step back, plank. Exhale, press the floor away. Inhale, look a little forward. Exhale, modified chaturanga. Hold for a second. Then lower the chest. Inhale, cobra. Pressing through the palm, get a coiling action of your chest. It's really about length, not height here. See how long you can get. Toes reach back. Head reaches forward. butt flesh shifts to your heels. Upper inner thighs go to the ceiling. And as you press through your index finger, your shoulder blades move into the front part of your body to get a coiling action of your chest. And then on your next exhalation, pressing through tabletop or straight up into plank, exhale, down dog. 5 breaths. Pressing through your feet. Keeping the alignment of Samasthiti or Tadasana foot even in down dog. If your heels don't come to the mat, it's okay. But keep the motion, the direction that they're going even. Bottom ribs, moving toward the frontal pelvic bones, finding length at your sit bones. Crown of the head, elongating toward your thumbs, looking between your toes. Inhale, look a little forward. Begin to walk your feet forward. Place your hands. Exhale. On your next inhalation, stepping through your feet, long spine, hands all the way overhead. Exhale, hands down. You warmed up a little? I think so. That was good. So, I want to work on plank at the wall. So take your yoga mat into a nice place that you can get up against the wall. And if you have a block, I highly recommend getting at least 2. This is a good size. If you don't have a block, it's okay. Curl your toes under and press your feet into the wall with your toes curled like you have high heels on. If you have a block, you can put it between your ankles, this way. Well, I guess it could be either way, but not the skinny way. The middle way or the larger way. I'm doing it the middle tall way. Giving me about hip width apart between my feet. Find a plank here. Find a plank so that your wrists are under your shoulders as best as they can, pressing through your feet. You can feel your inner heels pressing into the wall. Abdomen and chest resisting gravity and sternum forward. Elbows straight. And then if that's a little difficult for you, I'm going to invite you to also invest in a strap. And I'll demonstrate how to use this. While we're working on the alignment of plank, it's a long hold, especially if you're not used to doing it. So if you have a strap, make a loop, shoulder head to shoulder head. It goes right above the elbow. You can try it beneath the elbow as well. Try it both ways, see which one you like better. I like it above the elbows. And it might take a few times to get this right. And to me, that's a little too tight, so I'm going to loosen it up. You don't have to use one, but I'll demonstrate it once with it. Take the time. Okay. So pressing through the 4 corners of your feet into the wall completely. Upper inner thighs to the ceiling, butt flesh to your heels. The legs are strong. Bottom ribs not falling to the ground. You're lifted. And your sternum goes forward out the crown of your head. Ideally, you could have maybe 5 breaths here. And then exhale. Keep your mind in your arms. Exhale into down dog. Hold down dog. And while we're holding down dog here, take your mind into your feet. They're in perfect view. Hug your outer ankles in toward the block if you have it. And press through your inner heels. Even here, shin bones move forward. And thighs back, side hips firm. And you find length through your side bodies at your sit bones. Even here, the frontal pelvic bones aren't dropping. There's not too much rounding. They stay lifted a little. They're not dumping. Nothing's dumping. Stay lifted. Very good. And now, inhale. Straight arms. Slowly inhale into plank. Same feet. Pressing through the inner heel, outer ankle hugs in. Toes curled on the floor. Upper inner thighs lift to the ceiling. Butt flesh is heavy toward your heels. Finding length at the crown of your head. And then inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Walk one hand up at a time, and you can, I'm going to take off the belt, do one more. So you can do this plank, down dog, for several reps. It's great to synchronize your breath to. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. And go with that and time it with your smooth, gentle breath, taking your mind into the alignment cues for complete absorption of the moment. And even if that's all you did, you would see amazing results. So let's go ahead and transition back to standing. And we'll see about flowing through it one time. And make sure that the area between your index finger and middle finger, it points forward. And if you have tighter, weak shoulders and arms, you can turn out a little bit so that the index finger is pointing forward. Play around with it. And see where you feel more comfortable working. Where can you maintain power in your arms without them doing this? They're like pillars, strong. And let's see. So inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Step away from the wall, maybe about 1 foot distance away or 1 foot length. Maybe that's about 6 inches, a little bit away from the wall. The least flexible you are, step away from the wall even more, because you're going to walk your hands to your feet, bending your knees if you need to. Maybe I'll get a little bit closer to the wall. The closer you get to the wall, the more difficult this is. This is a transition to standing that is almost a pose in and of itself. Stepping through the 4 corners, side hips firm. Hands on your hips, long spine leading with your sternum. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Nice. Let me just check the time. me try, since we have a little bit of time, introducing hold on 1 second. I had to find my other block. I don't know why it was all the way so far away. So let's introduce lunge. The good thing about modified sun salutation, when you get a little bit more flexibility, you can start adding lunge work. Lunge is an amazing part of yoga that gets you ready for more complicated standing postures like Virabhadrasana 1. It's a nice warm up to Virabhadrasana 1. So go ahead and put something that you can get height on, so a stack of books or some blocks. Please get 2 blocks. Measure out a good plank. And I think I'm in a good plank. I can't see myself. It feels okay. Exhale into down dog. I'm going to show you 2 ways to get into this. Inhale, look a little forward, and step your right foot somewhere between your hands so that you maintain contact with the back foot. Back leg thigh remains lifted, upper inner thigh spinning toward the ceiling. But you have still Tadasana leg here. Go ahead and grab some height here. And I'm going to move my blocks a little forward so you can see what my foot's doing. And so, pressing through your foot, knees stacked over the ankle. The shin bone, when your knee is bent, starts to resist back. Even here, the frontal pelvic bones lift, and the right side hip hugs in. And you're supporting your entire body by the weight on your legs. So you could potentially, if you've got it, you can lift your hands off the ground. But use the block because we're going to hold it here for a little while to get some height. Get more than you think you need. So the shin bone here, as it presses through the heel, the weight's going directly down through the center of your heel. Shin bone resists back energetically. Frontal pelvic bones lift. Upper inner thigh of the back leg moves up. Butt flesh here is still heavy, moving toward your heels. And inhale, find length at the crown of your head. And then move the blocks out of the way. Prepare your hands. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Now look a little forward. Inhale, step your left leg near your left hand. Find your blocks or some height. Stepping through the 4 corners of the feet. Remember the shin bone. It's not moving too far. It's resisting back so that your knee stacks over your ankle. And this side hip firms in. Frontal pelvic bones lift, and you find length at the crown of your head. A few breaths like this. And if you have the flexibility, you can take your hands to whatever level feels best for you. And then if you can, put your hands flat to the mat. Already here, get your plank ready so that all you have to do, half of your body is in a plank here, all you should have to do is step your foot back, find your plank. And then exhale, down dog. And then walk your feet to your hands. Step through the four corners of your feet, strong legs. Inhale, big wide circle. Exhale, hands to your sides. Moving right along. So let's see how that would look. I think that's about right. If we added it to our flow, if we added lunge as we prepare through the journey of sun salutation, preparing us for regular traditional Surya Namaskar and maybe even Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look a little forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, step back your left leg and work your lunge here. And if you don't have your blocks and you need them, I apologize. This would be a good time to get them. So work on your lunge. See if you can just take a few moments here to engage your legs fully. And breathe. Smooth, gentle respirations. And then prepare to step back into plank. Butt flesh heavy. Right side of the body leaning, almost laying on the right leg. Shin bone resisting back. And then just like that, you step the right leg back, find your plank. Exhale, down dog. Come up high onto your toes and step the left leg forward. So you can get creative with your sun salutations. It's a blueprint for a home practice. We've only done modified Surya Namaskar, practiced our down dog, practiced plank, and we've almost got a complete workout. It's so simple. A complete asana practice just from Surya Namaskar. Makes it a little bit more interesting and prepares us for the addition of warrior pose, Virabhadrasana. And then inhale, plank. Exhale, push away the floor. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, modified chaturanga. Let your chest come to the floor, elbows to the ceiling. Inhale, baby chaturanga. And breathe. Engage your thighs. Don't just rest here. It's a pose. Outer ankles in, inner heel or pinky toe down. Outer ankles in, inner heel splays out. Upper inner thighs to the ceiling. Butt flesh heavy. And even here, the bottom ribs, they resist the urge to separate from the pelvis. You get length by taking your back body into the front part of your body, finding length at the crown of your head, pressing through the index finger to get the chest to coil maybe a millimeter more. Release the neck. And then curl your toes under. On your next exhalation, passing through tabletop, pushing straight up. Exhale, down dog. And breathe. Look a little forward. Start walking your hands or your feet to your hands, stepping through the four corners, strong thighs, leading with your sternum. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Very good. Let's take a nice, comfortable seated position. Actually, go ahead and sit up for Shavasana. I recommend getting a blanket for your head, making a small pillow. If you have a long enough Shavasana, which is the preparation for meditation, after a while, the back of your head needs some love. And so having a soft surface there is a way that you can take care of yourself, as little as it might seem. So, starting in a stiff Shavasana, like our toes, our feet are up against a wall, thighs engaged. Keep the heels touching the floor and engage the thighs. If this is difficult for you, it's a good indication that maybe you lock your knees too much. So feel the difference. Is it difficult for you to keep your heels on the ground and engage your thighs? Making sure our pelvis is in its neutral position, bottom ribs, even here softening. Positioning the fleshy area of our shoulder blades down our sticky mat. Bring your arms all the way to the side. Give a little bend, palms up. And then on your next exhalation, letting the feet fall open. And we're going to spend a little bit of time here. You can do pranayama, you can do your breath work sitting, standing, or laying down. You could do it while you're walking. Closing your eyes here, observe your breath. Watching the inhale, watching the exhale. Is your breath rapid? Is it smooth? Is it gentle? Just observing. And notice how just the act of pointing our attention to our breath causes it to slow down, to lengthen, to become gentle. Now take a moment to decide to take control of the breath, making the conscious effort to stretch the breath to a count of 5 or 6 or whatever is comfortable for you. Using the valve, the little noise, the sound of your breath that lives in the back of your throat, letting that help lengthen the breath, closing it off just a bit so that you can lengthen it, smooth it out. Letting that sound of the breath in the back of your throat help settle you. Keeping it gentle and only audible to you. You can imagine that the breath is a white golden light traveling from your feet on inhale all the way through your body, up your spine to the crown of your head. And on exhale, falling back down through your feet. And you can imagine the breath is visiting all the places we worked on in our practice today. The four corners of our feet, our outer ankles, our inner heels, our shin bones, our knees, our thighs, our upper inner thighs, the 3 points of our pelvis and our side hips, our side bodies and our bottom ribs, our kidney areas, our upper back, our shoulder blades, across our collarbone, into the neck, down the arms, through the fingertips, out the crown of the head. The breath filling your body like water, washing away any areas of tension. On exhale, those areas of tension untangle and wash away. And you trust, you surrender the breath, letting the chest rise and fall as it pleases, trusting the earth to support you, becoming heavy into your mat. Letting your eyeballs become heavy into the socket. Like you're in the depths of the ocean in its blackness. Spend a few moments here in Shavasana. And when you're ready, coming back into the body, wiggling your fingers and toes. And in your home practice, I invite you to spend way longer than that in Shavasana. Turn to your left or right side in the fetal position, keeping your eyes closed. Take a few breaths. Smoothing the transition and the pause in between. And using both your hands, push yourself up into a nice, comfortable, seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. Join me in a namaskar. Palms up, elbows close to the body, bringing the palms together. Base knuckles of the thumb resting on the sternum. Reaching out nice and tall through the crown of the head. Gently gazing toward the fingertips. As a gesture, surrendering the mind into the heart center. And for gratitude for this practice. Namaste. That was such a good practice that I really don't want to move right now. I just want to sit here. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.